Tonight on First at 9, this Monday the 7th of October 2024. Fully compensated. Former Director of State Intelligence completes outstanding compensation payment to 2019 Easter Sunday attack victims. Fund facility. World Bank approves $200 million to support Sri Lanka's economic recovery. ADB assures continuous support for development. Security privilege. Police personnel assigned to former President Ranil Wickremesinghe's security detail were not recalled, clarifies police spokesman. Statement of assets. Candidates contesting the coming parliamentary election asked to declare assets to the Election Commission. Vehicle transshipment. Hambantota International Port records 40% improvement in roll-on roll-off vehicles.
ඔබේ විශ්වාසය දෙනු සෙන්සුරයින් දැන් ළඟමැති ෆාමසියෙන් ලබාගත හැක.
වැඩිම මනාපෙන් ජනතා තේරීම මෙවරත්
සුදේශී ඔරිජිනල් කුහුඹම තමයි.
From Derana, this is Derana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of Derana First at 9. I'm Tharidu Mahendra, joining you live with the latest in Sri Lanka and from around the world. Now in your top story making headlines tonight, the World Bank has approved a financial facility of $200 million to support Sri Lanka's economic recovery. The agreement to approve the funds was signed today at the President's office by representatives of the Sri Lankan government and the World Bank. Meanwhile, during a meeting with President Anurukumara Dissanayake today, officials from the Asian Development Bank confirmed the bank's commitment to continuing ADB-funded projects in Sri Lanka. They also expressed their willingness to support the development of the country's tourism, renewable energy and small and medium-sized enterprise sectors. The International Development Association of the World Bank Group has approved a financial facility of $200 million to further support Sri Lanka's economic recovery and reform program. The signing of the related loan agreement took place this morning at the President's office in the presence of President Anurukumara Dissanayake. On behalf of the Government of Sri Lanka, the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, Mahinda Sirivardana, signed the agreement, while the World Bank's Country Director for the Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, David Sisland, signed on behalf of the World Bank. The two-year program covering the period from 2023 to 24 aims to create macroeconomic stability while minimizing the impact on the poor and vulnerable. The first phase of the program, implemented in 2023, allowed Sri Lanka to secure a financial facility of $500 million after fulfilling 7 major preconditions under 3 key sectors. These sectors were improving economic governance, enhancing growth and competitiveness, and protection of the poor and vulnerable. The World Bank Board has approved the second phase of this financial facility, which will come into effect following the signing of the financial agreement. Meanwhile, during a meeting with President Dissanayake today, the Asian Development Bank agreed to provide financial assistance for the development of Sri Lanka's tourism, energy and small-scale enterprise industries. The discussions took place at the President's office with the ADB's permanent representative to Sri Lanka, Takafumi Kadono. During the meeting, the ADB permanent representative to Sri Lanka, Kadono, expressed that all agreements made by the ADB to support Sri Lanka's economic development would continue to be implemented as planned. ADB officials expressed their willingness to provide financial support to improve infrastructure in the tourism sector and the tourism industry in the northern province. Accordingly, they reiterated their commitment to financing the development of energy projects, small-scale enterprises and the financial sector of Sri Lanka.
Horizon Campus 2024 Intake 2. Register now.
Welcome to Cinnamon Life, South Asia's biggest entertainment hub, where awe awaits.
Former Director of the State Intelligence Service, Nilantha Jayawardena, today completed his outstanding compensation payment to the victims of the 2019 Easter Sunday terror attacks. With Jayawardena completing his payment, all respondents who were found in violation of fundamental rights by the Supreme Court due to their inability to prevent the attacks have completed their compensation payments totaling 311 million rupees. The Apex Court will convene on the 18th of November to investigate the disbursement of the Easter attack victim fund. On the 23rd of January last year, following the consideration of 13 fundamental rights petitions, the Supreme Court found former President Maithripala Sirisena and 4 other respondents in violation of fundamental rights due to their failure to take action to prevent the 2019 Easter Sunday terror attacks. The Apex Court ordered former President Sirisena to pay 100 million rupees in compensation to the victims of the attacks, while former Inspector General of Police Pujit Jayasundara and former Director of the State Intelligence Service Nilantha Jayawardena were ordered to pay 75 million rupees each. Former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando was ordered to pay 50 million rupees and former National Intelligence Chief Sisira Mendis was ordered to pay 10 million rupees. The deadline to complete the payments was the 30th of August this year, and all respondents except Nilantha Jayawardena had completed their payments by the due date. Jayawardena had only paid 10 million of the 75 million compensation payment as of the 30th of August. Subsequently, the Attorney General filed contempt of court charges against Jayawardena due to his inability to complete the relevant payment by the due date. Nilantha Jayawardena appeared before the Supreme Court today when the contempt of court charges against him were taken for consideration. During the hearing, President's Counsel Chandaka Jayasundara, who represented Nilantha Jayawardena, asserted that since his client is a police officer engaged in active service, he cannot request funds from other parties to make the compensation payment. However, he stated that taking the current situation into account, Jayawardena's acquaintances have supplied the necessary funds, adding that the funds would be transferred to the Reparations Office today via a standing order. President's Counsel Jayasundara requested that the court dismiss the contempt of court charges, citing that the full payment would be made within the day. Responding to the President's Counsel, Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya highlighted that the deadline to complete the payment had already elapsed. However, the 7-member Supreme Court judge bench ordered that written evidence that the relevant compensation payment has been made be presented to court before 1:30 p.m. today, adding that failure to do so will result in the contempt of court charges being further pursued. When the court reconvened at 1:30 p.m, President's Counsel Chandaka Jayasundara presented the relevant documents to the court. Additional Solicitor General Viveka Sirivardhana, who appeared on behalf of the Attorney General, confirmed that the Reparations Office had received the 65 million rupee payment made by Nilantha Jayawardena. Subsequently, Nilantha Jayawardena requested the court's forgiveness for the delay in completing the payment. Accordingly, the court ordered the contempt of court proceedings against Jayawardena be concluded. Meanwhile, President's Counsel Shamil Pereira, who appeared on behalf of His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, stated that the victims of the Easter Sunday attacks have only received 62 million rupees of the 245 million rupee compensation payments received by the Reparations Office. Accordingly, he requested that the court issue guidelines on the disbursement of the compensation. The court will reconvene on the 18th of November to investigate the disbursement of the Easter attack victim fund. Police spokesperson, Deputy Inspector General of Police Nihal Taldua stated that the police personnel assigned to former President Ranil Wickremesinghe's security detail have not been recalled. Addressing a media briefing, the police spokesperson added that in accordance with the orders of the Acting Inspector General of Police, all outstanding public complaints are to be resolved within the next 2 weeks.
කිසිසේත්ම හිටපු ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ ඒ ආරක්ෂාවට සිටින නිලධාරීන් ඉවත් කිරීමක් සිදු කළා නැහැ.
We have not recalled the police officers assigned to the former president's security detail. Currently, the 50 special task force officers and other personnel assigned to his security detail remain in place. Until recently, the security arrangements for both the current president and former presidents were managed by the president's security division. This division allocated the necessary number of officers for the former president's security. Although the message regarding changes has been communicated, the officers are still on duty, have not been recalled.
Meanwhile, the Acting Inspector General of Police Priyantha Veerasuriya has issued a directive to all police stations emphasising the need to address pending minor complaints lodged by the public within the next 2 weeks.
වැඩබලන පොලිස්පතිතුමා විසින් ඊයේ දිනේදී විශේෂ
Yesterday, the Acting Inspector General of Police issued a special order to all police stations, directed them to resolve any outstanding complaints that are yet to be investigated. These complaints must be addressed within the next 14 days. Appropriate measures will be taken accordingly.
Now, with the rising trend of online scams in the country, the police recently revealed that several organised cyber fraud camps are currently active in parts of Sri Lanka with links to similar cybercrime camps in Myanmar and Thailand. In the wake of this announcement, the Criminal Investigation Department apprehended 40 foreign nationals involved in a large-scale financial scam operations based in the Gampaha and Hangwella areas. In the recent past, local authorities received information of various financial frauds and scams that are being carried out via mobile payment apps, social media and other online platforms. Against this backdrop, the Criminal Investigation Department uncovered a large-scale online financial scam operating from the Gampaha and Hangwella areas. Following a tip-off received by CID officers, 40 foreign nationals involved in cybercrimes were taken into custody during raids conducted last morning at a hotel on Hangwella Road, Gampaha, and a private establishment on Avissavela Road, Hangwella. Among the arrested are 30 Chinese nationals, 4 Indians and 6 Thai nationals. Police revealed that these suspects had been involved in organised financial scams carried out via social media platforms and phone calls. Investigators seized 499 mobile phones, 24 laptops and 29 desktop computers used for the fraudulent operations. During interrogation, the suspects revealed that they used 3 primary methods to carry out the online cybercrime activities. As one of the methods, people befriended through Facebook and social media networks and phone calls had been induced to invest money in such activities. In addition, police revealed that the suspects were also targeting victims in countries such as China, Indonesia, Thailand and several other South Asian nations. According to the police, such organised cyber fraud camps were already operating in the vicinity of Myanmar and Thailand, and the investigations carried out from August this year showed that similar financial schemes are also already operating in Sri Lanka. The Police Media Division said that the Forensic Laboratory of the Criminal Investigation Department will provide the relevant reports regarding the electronic devices that were in the possession of the suspects. The Police Media Division stated that further investigations into such matters will be conducted with assistance from Interpol and Europol.
Those involved in these cybercrimes stay in expensive hotels with first-rate amenities, including dining and entertainment options. These hotel rooms are reserved for a considerable period. The hotel room will also be equipped with electronic devices. They may be using false identities to rent these apartments and devices. We ask that people exercise caution when renting homes to these foreign nationals for an extended period of time at a higher price. Therefore, property owners should be aware of what is occurring within these hotels and rooms when they rent them. They are also responsible for alerting the authorities of any criminal behavior. In addition, we have also noted a rising trend in these cybercrime activities in the country.
Sri Lanka decides 2024.
Now, candidates contesting the upcoming parliamentary election are required to declare their assets to the Election Commission. The Election Commission stated that pursuant to the Anti-Corruption Act No. 9 of 2023, all candidates representing recognised political parties and independent groups who will be submitting nominations to contest the upcoming parliamentary election must submit their income statement as of the day of the declaration of the election to the relevant returning officers. Pursuant to Article 99A of the Constitution, the nationalist candidates are also required to submit their income statements directly to the Election Commission alongside their nominations. The Election Commission highlighted that failure to submit income statements alongside nominations is a punishable offence. Former parliamentarian of the Kurunagala District, Derana joined the Maubima Janata Party today. He was awarded the position of the party's Kurunagala District leader. Addressing the media, Basnaik asserted that it was the Maubima Janata Party's mission of creating positive change in Sri Lanka that led him to join. Meanwhile, leader of the Maubima Janata Party, Dilith Jayawira, stated that his political group will contest the general election as the Sarvajana Balaya with the medal as their symbol. Former parliamentarian of the Kurunagala District, Derana Basnaika, joined the Maubima Janata Party today and was appointed the party's Kurunagala District leader. Basnaika was a member of parliament for 10 years and is also a former state minister. In the meantime, several electorate and district organisers of Maubima Janata Party were also appointed.
Dilith Jayawira's political party consists of modernity, development and progress. This political party has gained the people's trust since they know that we will embark on an ascent journey. This political camp has provided a platform for its members within the leftist political movement. The team, including our leader Dilith Jayawira, has the urge to do something positive for this country. We decided to join hands for this cause. From now on, we will officially represent Sarvajana Balaya and our official symbol will be the medal. What we are doing is similar to the revolution conducted by SWRD Bandaranaike in 1956. We have created a platform where we can reform the patriotic political camp we lost. The people who believe in this cause and our entrepreneurial ideology are currently joining with us. That is the difference. These people have an interest in our political camp. If we opened our doors to everyone, then we would not survive. Hence, we did not use that method. Therefore, we had to inform some politicians that society's impression of them will cause harm to our political movement if they were to join us. On the other hand, if they joined us for the sake of contesting the upcoming election without believing in our political ideology, it will be an obstacle to long-term politics. Because of this, we did not accept them. The People's United Freedom Alliance has joined the New Democratic Front, comprising politicians who supported former President Ranil Wickremesinghe during the presidential election to contest the upcoming general election. Former Minister Kanchana Wijesekara revealed that the members of the alliance have reached an agreement on the number of nominations that will be allocated for each of the constituent parties in each district. During a media briefing, the People's United Freedom Alliance announced that they will join the New Democratic Front in order to contest the upcoming general election. The People's United Freedom Alliance has decided to contest the upcoming general election by forming an alliance with the New Democratic Front, who will be contesting under the symbol gas cylinder. The People's United Freedom Alliance, along with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, the United National Party and several other parties, have decided to contest in this year's parliamentary election by forming an alliance with the New Democratic Front. We expect to complete the nomination process within the next few days. During the last weekend, we arrived at an agreement over the nominations on district level. The decisions included the number of nominations that will be allocated for the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, the United National Party and other parties from each district. Meanwhile, leader of the Samagu Jana Balawege, Sajith Premadasa, asserted that the SJB is the only political party capable of guiding Sri Lanka and its economy towards growth. Speaking at a meeting in Kasbava, Premadasa also highlighted that the program presented by the Samagu Jana Balawege will guide the nation towards a progressive system of governance that improves the people's quality of life. A meeting of the Samagu Jana Balawege was held in Kasbava today under the patronage of party leader Sajith It is imperative that the country undergoes rapid economic growth. More job opportunities should be created. Inflation should also be brought down to the country to develop. This is the path we are on. The nation is always given priority in the SJB's agenda. We shall guide the nation towards a progressive system of governance that improves the people's quality of life. The only political party capable of guiding the nation and economy towards growth is Samaki Jana Balawegaya. No other political party is capable of that.
Samaki Jana Balawegaya, Samaki Jana Balawegaya.
Sri Lanka decides 2024.
Fast track your career from O levels with eSoft.
Welcome back. In business news, the Hambantota International Port recorded a 40% increase in roll-on, roll-off vehicles handled between the second and third quarters of this year. According to a statement by the port, the number of units handled increased from 125,526 in the second quarter to 175,583 by the end of September. The statement attributes this growth to several factors, including the rise in shipping lanes operating from HIP for transshipment and the addition of new ports to the port's delivery network. New ports of loading added to the portfolio include Shanghai, Ulsan, Taichung, Pyeongtaek, Dafeng and Baltimore. The increase in roll-on roll-off traffic, which was anticipated and planned for 2 years ago, prompted HIP to expand its yard space. Lanzo, General Manager of Commercial and Marketing at the Hambantota International Port Group, stated that the launch of several new roll-on roll-off shipping lines servicing new destinations through Hambantota Port demonstrates growing confidence in the port's capabilities. Now in your stock update, the Colombo Bourse closed in green today due to price gains in banking counters. The benchmark all share price index closed 0.92% higher, closing at 12,164.64 points. Trading volume on the index rose to 169 million shares from 71 million in the previous session. The S&P Sri Lanka 20 gained 1.34% to end the session at 3,590.80 points. Daily turnover fell slightly to 2.77 billion rupees from 2.83 billion in the previous session. The banking sector was the top contributor to the turnover, while the capital goods sector came in second. Foreign investors were net sellers, offloading shares worth 164 million rupees, while domestic investors were net buyers, purchasing shares worth 2.69 billion rupees. Senior analyst of Capital Alliance, Imran Dean, joins us now with a few thoughts to round off our Markets in View segment for the week.
Last week, the domestic equity market experienced an upsurge. The S&P SL20 rose 3.9% to 3,543 from 3,410, while the ASPI increased 2.4% from 11,773 to 12,053. Market turnover declined 11.5% to 12.6 billion rupees. The government raised 142.5 billion rupees last week through treasury bill auctions. Throughout the auction, the interest rates on 3, 6 and 12-month bills fell 43, 35 and 1 basis points respectively.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of First at 9. Thank you for joining and have a good night.